Hello guys, welcome to this new video tutorial on Angular for the beginners. So in a last video tutorial we guys have understand what is Angular and nowadays why the Angular is uses for more scalable, feasible and repeatable web applications. Now in this video we are going to be understand how we can install the Angular in our local system. So to install the Angular or to setting up an Angular for our local system, we have to follow with the two different steps. The step one, the Angular is installed using npm, where the npm stands for Node Package Manager, and using the npm we can able to install any latest version of the Angular for our local system. And to install this npm, that is Node Package Manager, the step one is to install the Node.js runtime environment in your system. And to install the Node.js, what we have to do, we have to go to the official website of a Node.js, that is nodejs.org, and we are going to be install that Node.js runtime environment by downloading from this website to our system. So let us do with that first. So here in a browser, I will go to the browser and search for nodejs.org. So this must be your, what we can say, the link. Using this link you can able to download. You can just hit an enter, go to the website, and here you can choose any latest version. So the date which I have recorded this session, the latest version is 18.17.1. if you are trying for next 3 months or 6 months, the version will be got changes, but do not worry about that. The code will be same. There are some extra features are going to be added. So you can just go to the download section or you can click it from here. So it's better you can go to the download section and just click for Windows installer. So it says that package is going to be installed. So I am going to be installed in my download sections. So I have already the package is right there. So I'm just going to be installed by providing other name. So let us say one. So we are going to be install it. So it is just 30 MB file. You guys can see 30.3 MB file is available there. So it is getting downloaded. Alright, now the file has been get downloaded. So let us open the file. So in my file explorer, to install this Node.js, there is no any rocket science. You just click on next and finish. So to get install this, you just double click on this setup. Okay, so it says preparing to install. So this is a Node.js environment. So I just say next. Okay, so this is an agreement. If you want, you can read it. I just say I accept and click on next. So this is where our Node.js files are going to be stored in our system. In the C drive programming files Node.js, if you want to change the path, you can just click on change and change that path right here. So I just put it for a default. So I'm just again click on next. So this is all the packages from the Node.js setup is going to be installed. First, it is going to install Node.js runtime, then core package manager, then npm package manager, online documentation and shortcuts, and automatically it will add it to the path. So I just say click on next. So I don't want to use that chocolate framework right here. So I just say click on next and then click on install. So it will take some time to install for our machine, probably a max of 1 minute or something. We will wait for it, and then we will see the step 2 where we are going to be install the Angular for our local machine. And to install the Angular, again we are going to use some documentation from the Angular website, and we are going to do that setup. So this is the step 1, as we have successfully installed the Node.js environment which is required for npm, because the Angular is installed only using the npm. So I have installed the npm. Now at the step 2, we have to install the Angular latest version using the npm command. And what must be that command? The command is right here. So we are just going to say npm install -g @angular/cli. So this command we are going to use for our command prompt, and we are going to install that Angular for our machine. So let us do with this. So I'm going to open the command prompt right here, and we are going to type this command. So first I'm going to say npm, okay, install. You can write install, or you can use the shortcut as I for install, then -g for all the users @angular/cli. So Angular CLI is the module available in npm, so it will get download and install automatically by the npm server. So let us hit an enter. So it will take some time to download and install. Moreover, your system needs to be connected to the internet, and if it is connected to the internet, then appropriate packages and the modules are getting downloaded from that respective servers to our local machine. It will require some time to be get extract and downloaded in our machine. So it's about to be done. Yes, it says package has added 244 packages added in 27 seconds, and this is for more practice. You should have to funds that packages those have installed for our machine. So you can use that npm fund if it is given for the warnings. So I have given the npm funds also. The next step is to check which Angular that has been installed in my system, and to check with that you can just use a command called as ng version. So you just use that command ng version, so it will show you the what Angular is installed. So in my system I have installed the Angular CLI, which is of the version 16.2.0, which is the latest version as per the date where I am recording the session. If you are trying for next 6 months or 1 year, the version will be got changes, but again, yes, the code will be keep remains the same. There are some optimized changes that could be done in the different versions. So this is the Angular version. This is the latest node version that we got installed. This is the npm version on my Windows x64 based operating system. So this is what the packages those got installed in my machine. So the next step is for creating a project. Well, to create a project in Angular, again you guys have to write some commands. So if you well understood about Angular, how we can able to install, let us revise the steps and then we will move forward to the next. The steps to install the Angular, like within the 2 steps we guys can able to do the setup. The first step is to install the Node.js runtime environment. The Node.js runtime environment we required for the npm, and using the npm only we are going to install the Angular CLI in our system. So you can download the Node.js runtime environment from their standard website nodejs.org to for npm, and then next to that you can install that Angular for using this command called npm install, or I as a shortcut, -g @angular CLI. Well, next to this, the next step which is demonstrated in the Angular documentation. And to open the Angular documentation, you can go to this website called angulars.io. This is the website for Angular documentation. You can just go to this website, and in this website you guys can see the docs for the documentation. You can just click on here and you can go to the getting started and just clicking on setup. There is one more step is required here for creating a project. And what is that step is, okay, we required to be get install Node.js npm package manager that we got installed. The next step is to install the Angular CLI. Yes, we have did with this. And the moreover, the next step is to using the Angular commands for overall system. You have to use these commands on your PowerShell. This command will give us all the authority to access that what we can say the Angular commands thoroughly in a command prompts. So for a better practice, you can use these steps and you can utilize the running and testing your Angular servers for the command prompts. So I'm going to copy this command right here and this command needs to be works only on a PowerShell. So let us open the PowerShell. So I will search for the PowerShell in my system, Windows PowerShell, and here we are going to paste that command. Right, so let us paste it, and now let us execute this command. It will ask to change for all the users. Do you want to access this Angular for all the users? You can use that commands for Angular for all the users. So I'm going to say yes. You can simply type y there for the yes and just hit an enter. So it says yes, the commands of Angular is now using for all the users. Well, the next step is to create the project. And to create a project, it is a better practice that you guys can create the project using the folders. You can create anywhere in your system, like in C drive or D drive. Create a folder, and there you can put your all the projects. So I have already created my what we can say folder into the D drive. So I will open up the D drive right here. I will go to that folder I have created as YouTube Angular course, and here I'm going to create one single application using Angular. And to create the application, you can just type code right like this, ng new and your name of application. So I'm going to say my first app as my name of application, and I'm just going to hit enter to process that application through the command. So let us hit enter. So it is going to ask you some questions, and it will create all the further required execution for your application. So let us check with that. It will take some time to be get created the application. So first question it is asking, would you like to add the Angular routing? So if in your application you have to navigate from one component to other component or one page to other pages, you can say yes. Right now I don't want to navigate, so I'm just clicking on no, N for a no. So let's hit an enter. So it says which kind of CSS you required for. So depends on your comfort zone. You can choose CSS or just down arrow yes CSS, or yes yes CSS then less. So depends on your comfort zone. I'm really comfort at CSS, so I just click on select the CSS and hit an enter, and now it is creating our all the project files which is required for the Angular framework. It will take some time to be get created, probably 1.5 minutes to get it created to all the required files for our Angular project. Then we are going to open that files into the Visual Studio Code. If you guys haven't install the Visual Studio Code, please do install. The better way for practicing the Angular is on Visual Studio Code only. So let us wait for it and to be get generated the files. Right, it is about complete this. For initial installation, means like after installing the Angular, it will going to take some time, but yeah, like if we have already created a project, by that time it is not working like this. Yes, it says package installed successfully and git is not recognizable command because I haven't configured the github to my entire system, so it says git is not recognized. Well, the next step is to open that applications into the Visual Studio Code. But to open that application, the very first thing that you guys have to do is to get into that folder where you have created the application. Let me show you this. So here in my D drive, I got created a folder called as YouTube Angular course, and here you guys can see my first app. This folder is got created after that commands having some certain files into this. So what is the meaning of this file, we will understood in a project structure. So the very first thing, right now in the command prompt I am at this location, so I have to enter into this folder at this location, and then I can open that files into the Visual Studio Code. So to do with that, so you can just go to the folder like using the cd my first app, and then you can open the that folder into the Visual Studio Code like this, code space dot. Using this command you can open that folder into the Visual Studio Code, but before that you have to install the Visual Studio Code in your system. So now let us open this folder, and here we are. So you can see that files are created. Here we have source folder, we have app, asset, etc, etc, etc. So a lot of applications are there. Right now we are not going to check all this, we have an entire video on the project structure. So right away it is important to understand how we can able to run the commands for running the what we can say an Angular applications. And to run the Angular application, you can have the two different choices. Either you can go to the terminal, you just click on new terminal right here, and you can just type a code. Okay, let me just show you. We can just type a code here or type a command called as ng start, oh sorry, ng serve. We can just write a command here, it is get loading it. So I'm just going to say ng serve. So you can type this command, write it here, or you can type this command, write it here. Both meanings are same. So it's better we can write the command right here because we have to write a code in Visual Studio. So this entire region will be got occupied. So I'm just going to say here ng serve. Okay, for serve you can use the shortcut as yes, or you can type the serve completely as per your choice. So I'm just going to use the shortcut as yes. Let us hit an enter. So it says, do you want to share the data to the server? I just say if you want you can say yes. I'm just going to say no right here. So global setting enabled, local setting disabled, effective status disabled, and it is generating the browser bundle right here. Right, it will take some time initially. Right, it says the code is compiled successfully, as we haven't written any code, but as it's a framework, so certain default code will be available, and you can able to check that code on this URL called localhost colon 4200. So you can get back to the browser and type it like this, localhost 4200, or else you can do one thing. Okay, I will show you that step. First let me show you this, and this is what the default application, as you guys can see. This is a header, some like buttons are there, this is a footer, everything is right there available. And at the same time you can open up these applications. Let me close this. So I just say Control C to close. All right, so now to, like, if I wanted to open an any certain application with the browser, so I can just type the command like ng serve, or you can say yes, and -o for opening on that respective port. So you can just hit an enter. So it will automatically again build and test the data and opening default by your browser, whatever your default browsers available. By that browser it is going to be open with that same URL. You don't want to write that code over to there. Opening my default browser as Internet Explorer, and same I check out right here. So this is how we guys can able to design and develop a single web application in Angular. Well, there are a lot of things are going to be left, kind of from where this code is coming up, and more importantly what are these files are getting created. Well, we are going to understand all these things in a next video tutorial for the Angular project structure. Stay tuned for our channel. If you are new to our channel, kindly subscribe to our channel and share with needful people. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next video tutorial.